as my recipe for passion fruit meringue pie. The crust is crisp and salty, the filling sweet, tart, and refreshing, and the top piled high with toasted meringue. The first thing to make is the crust. I'm using 4 ounces of saltine crackers, pulsed until they're pretty much finely ground up. Not completely, you want a little bit of texture. And then add half a cup, 1 stick of unsalted butter. Make sure the butter is at room temperature, which means soft like that. If you were making a pâte brisée, you know how the butter has to be, icy cold. This is just the opposite. And a 1/4 cup of sugar. And that, by the way, is your crust. And you just pulse until you see that everything's pretty much combined. And I think that's enough. And then just put this mixture right into your pie plate. This is a 9-inch pie plate. And with your rubber spatula, just press this down. If you find that this is a little sticky, which I'm finding, use the bottom of your metal measuring cup. This works pretty well to really flatten the crust. Press until firm and even thickness all the way around. So there, that's your crust. Now you can put this right into a preheated 350-degree oven and bake until the crust is golden brown. That takes about 18 to 20 minutes. Set your timer. In keeping with the simplicity of the entire recipe, the filling is very easy to make. 4 egg yolks, 1 14-ounce can of sweetened condensed milk, right out of the can. These cans are 14 ounces. Scrape it all out. And a half a cup of passion fruit puree. This comes in the refrigerated section of a fancy grocery store, or you can find your own inside the passion fruit. Although you need to get a 1/4 cup, you might need 2 or 3 passion fruits depending on the ripeness. The more wrinkly and more gnarly looking a passion fruit is, the more juice it's going to have, the riper it is. And this, you would have to squeeze all that juice out of the seeds and press them through a strainer. So I suggest trying to find the prepared passion fruit puree. So this is the passion fruit, put that in. It's pungent, sweet, tart, delicious all at the same time. And I can eat like 3 or 4 of these fresh ones at a sitting. They're very addictive. And this is the filling. See how easy? The citrus juice of the passion fruit reacts with the condensed milk, causing the mixture to thicken. And here's our crust, all nicely baked and cooled. Just pour this mixture right into the crust. After I took the crust out of the oven, I reduced the temperature to 325, and this is going to go right back into that oven and bake for about 15 to 17 minutes longer. So delicious. There. Squiggle it around a little, make sure it's nice and even. Set your timer. So here's our pie cooled out of the oven. Look how gorgeous. Now 4 egg whites into your mixer, fitted with a wire whisk. And you're going to beat these until they're just frothy. You can add a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And what we're going to be making is a kind of a crunchy meringue. 4 egg yolks and a whole cup of sugar. 3/4 cup of granulated sugar and a 1/4 cup of medium coarse sanding sugar, which will give the meringue a little bit of a crunch. So it's going to take about 5 to 7 minutes. This is a French meringue. It's the easiest and most basic of all meringues because it's just beaten egg whites with sugar. You can add a little vanilla if you like, but this doesn't need it. And now, just for the last minute or so, add your sanding sugar. The This will add a little sparkle to your meringue. And that little crunch, which is so interesting. There. Nice stiff peaks. Now spread this over your custard and swirl it whichever way you prefer. Big swirls, little swirls, casual swirls. You decide. I like it like this. This looks so gorgeous. So that's your meringue. It looks pretty. And finishing touch, of course, is a light browning. Don't overdo it. You don't want to have a burnt taste. You just want a golden brown color. Now